What is that food that no matter how hard you try, you just can't understand why people eat it? Turnips and their bastard cousins, rutabagas. Perfectly good veggies except for that god-awful turnip taste. Nothing can hide it. It permeates everything you put them in. I understand why starving medieval peasants would eat them, but if you have access to any other root veg, why would you ever eat turnip? It perplexes me that they're still sold for human consumption. They are cow-grade food. Oysters. Specifically raw oysters. I want to like raw oysters. I think it would be cool to sit at an oyster bar and have my little oyster shooters. I had to have tried raw oysters a half a dozen times and no matter what, I just can't bring myself to like them. Batter them and deep fry them and I'll tear them up. Just can't figure out the appeal of raw lasagna. I hate lasagna. No, I loathe it. No. I am extremely terrified of it. Maybe it's an extremely irrational phobia, sure. But I can't even be in the same room as a lasagna without feeling nervous and sick to my stomach. Even thinking about it grosses me out and makes me anxious. I cannot stand lasagna. Chicken livers and chitlins. Lord Jeebus, what is you all doing? Boiling the doo-doo tract? I cannot eat the doo-doo shoot. Ain't no way. No do-do water slide. You cleaned it? I've had it and it always tastes like poop. I'm glad to see you all at this family reunion, but y'all nasty AF. Spam. Tinned ham. Custard especially with skin on it makes me shiver with revulsion. Blancmange. Horrible. Had to eat these regularly as a child. Why would anyone voluntarily buy and eat any of this stuff? Thanks school dinners and childminder for the nightmares. Scrapple. What's that you ask? Pig parts such as hearts, liver, tongue, tail and skin. Other stuff too, but enough said. They serve it at diners in and around PA. No, it does not taste good, it's gritty. Literally the only reason to eat it is say you're actually from Philly. Durian is one of those foods for many people. Its strong smell can be off-putting, and some find its taste to be an acquired one. The divisive aroma and creamy texture make it a unique experience that some adore while others can't quite wrap their taste buds around. Kimchi. I love pickled foods from onions to mussels, but kimchi I just can't. I've had it on its own, I've had it cooked into dishes, I've had it prepared authentically, but it's just so overpowering and dwarfs ruins every other flavor present. Shrimp. Imagine, instead of eating a chicken leg or chicken breast, you put the entire chicken in your mouth to eat. That's basically what eating shrimp is. The entire body besides the tail, but seafood in general is fucking nasty. Sushi too. I work at a place called Hungry Jack's. In America it's called Burger King. We sell something with our drinks called Bursties. Look it up. It is disgusting to make. I also have ADHD OCD, so I have loads of texture problems. This is one of them, vomiting face, mushrooms. I've tried them probably a dozen times and it's the only food that I've tried that instantly triggers my gag reflex. Once it hits my tongue I'm already close to vomiting. Can't do it. I wish I liked them. Just impossible. Crawdads. I live in the South and people eat them a lot. They look like oversized, orange roaches to me. I can't even look at them and I can't be at the table when people eat them. Creeped out just thinking about them. Fish of any kind. I've tried so many times to make myself like it. Fresh water, salt water, sushi, baked, fried, I hate everything about it. The textures, the smell, the taste. I'm fine with shrimp or crab, but fish are out. Lutefisk. My heritage is heavily in Norwegian and I don't get that part of it. When my grandmother would serve it, we would go get Boston Market beforehand so that we wouldn't go hungry. Thanks mom for the heads up. Blue cheese. And it's often put over perfectly serviceable food. Like a ribeye. Here's some solidified dumpster juice to put over it. Chicken wings. Here's some dumpster au jus to dip it into. Gross. Marmite. I'm pretty sure the origins weren't being technically edible during wartime rationing and the British just collectively convincing themselves they liked it because it was either that or starve. Spicy food just makes me suffer in misery. Not just my mouth but my arse too the next day. Yet I see others scarfing down crimson red food that tastes like what I think is hellfire itself. Not food but Jägermeister. Barf. It's like someone mixed Robitussin with cheap cologne, bottled it and convinced idiots that it was better than literally any other alcoholic beverage. Unadulterated mayonnaise. I'm talking the off-white stuff squishing out of a sandwich or burger. I can handle a smidge mixed in egg salad or tuna, but by itself it is disgusting. Squash. Especially that nasty, Stringy spaghetti squash. It would be one thing if the texture was unpleasant but it tasted good, but I can't stand either the taste or texture. Parmesan cheese. Specifically the stuff that comes in a paper packet from a pizza restaurant or the green Kraft can. It smells like vomit, and asshole, and body odor. Ochre. It sucks. I'm in the South and it has to be the worst vegetable. But you haven't tried my fried okra and I never will meemaw because okra is disgusting. Raisins. I hate them in cookies. I hate them in empanadas. I hate them in Filipino menudo. They're always in something that they don't need to be in. So unnecessary. I'll make some enemies by saying it's a genetic thing like preference of cilantro, which I like. Avocado just tastes like grass flavored paste to me. Avocado. I don't like the texture, it's slimy to me. Agree with whoever said mushrooms. Ugh, imagine eating a dirty dishwashing sponge. Canned ones are rubber. No, bone marrow. I went to a restaurant last year and had it on bread. Some fancy restaurant. It tasted good but the food can even taste creepy. Mushrooms. I don't like anything about them. Yes, I have tried them. Many ways, many times, and never have I felt like they did anything but make my food worse. Technically not a food but coriander, cilantro, even the smallest amount completely ruins any food for me. I'm not a fussy eater either but it tastes like soap. Lobster. Now I like lobster as much as the next guy, but there's just no natural flavor to the meat. And so I can't wrap my mind around why it's so expensive. Olives. I've tried, I want to like them, but every time I give them a try I just despise them. Put olive on anything and it instantly makes it worse. Kale. When I was growing up it was the shit they decorated the salad bar with and threw out afterwards. Right up there with parsley on your plate. Oatmeal. Never have, no matter how hard my mom used to try. It looks so gross. But I will in cookie form. Also jelly beans and licorice. Yuck. Sushi. Or any kind of raw meat. Just the thought of it in my mouth makes my stomach churn. I don't even like cooked meat half the time though. Morsela. It's the Puerto Rican version of blood sausage. Smells horrible and tastes disgusting. Almost threw up the first time I tasted it. Eggplant. Every now and again I convince myself to try it again because they seem so up my alley, but every time they disappoint immensely. Simple. Tomatoes. Can't stand them. Wife and kids can't eat them also. Once bet my son $5 to eat a piece and he was gagging the whole time. Vegemite, sorry Aussie brothers, but that shit is fucking nasty. I usually love salty savory food but Vegemite is just unpalatable, to me. Olives, mayonnaise, balsamic vinegar, mushrooms, insects, pickles, various internal organs, any vegan meat substitute. Organ meat, of any kind, and it's not actually the flavor, it's the texture, and you know what that used to do? Meatloaf, yuck! Take meat some if any veggies, mash it together, cover it in ketchup, vec and serve. Vile. Dates. The whole texture makes me gag. It reminds me of a giant cockroach. I have a vivid imagination. Vile. The smell makes me gag. Don't know why, I like most foods, but have such an aversion to raisins. Caviar. I've had it multiple times but can't seem to appreciate it. Perhaps I've had inferior products. Rice cakes. They are awful, but they are just sad. What's the point of eating packaging material? Pickles. I hate pickles. I'm not even a picky eater but pickles are the bane of my existence. Bitter melon. They're so good for diabetes but my lord it makes me cry, I despise it so much. Maggot cheese. I don't remember the name of it but it's eaten in Italy if I'm not mistaken. It's super common but to me cabbage. Cabbage rolls, soup, a slaw with not want. Green bella is so bitter and overwhelms the flavor of the dish it's added to. Mayo. It's just disgusting fatty fat that leaves the worst feeling and taste in the mouth. McDonald's. You can get better quality food for the same price at a grocery store deli. Avocado. It's so smooth to the point it's sickening to me. The texture is just so, ick. Avocado. It tastes like peas to me and I hate peas. And that includes guac. Yuck. Raw onion. I can't stand the flavor, and I find it just overpowers everything else. Tripe, brains, liver and kidneys. The mere thought of these foods stomach. Chicken feet. There's no meat. It's just gross chewy skin, tendons, and tiny bones. Salmon. I really want to like it and I try it every few years but it never works. Eggplant. I can never get the texture right, it always feels like a wet sponge. Tripe. It's foul. Had it many different times and every single time it's nasty. Anchovies or octopus. Too gross for the former, too sentient for the latter. Hummus, the texture just doesn't do it for me and the flavors make no sense. Sushi. Expensive, uncooked, pretty food, with fish worms. No thank you. Hogma people ate it all the time at the local diner where I grew up. Believe it or not, but anything with almond tastes rotten in my mouth. Jen. It tastes like turpentine smells. Do not understand the appeal. Probably going to get burned at the stake for this one. But cheese. Melon. Honeydew cantaloupe. Watermelon. I know I'm weird lamau. Feet. Pig's feet, chicken's feet, any kind of feet. Black. Boiled okra. Fried is delicious, boiled is just slimy gross. Kasumarzu. Can't even think about it without wanting to gag. Almelons. They're gross, I hate the textures and flavors. Plain American yellow mustard. It tastes and smells awful. I am probably the only person that doesn't like bacon. Raw celery tastes like you're chewing crispy aspirin. Celery, it's so gross and smells and tastes so strong.